Hey everybody, welcome back to 12 Weeks of Christmas. We are on week number 3. If you're new here, my name is Leslie Benson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I teach people how to make things, paper crafts with stamps, paper, and ink. So far on our 12 weeks of Christmas, we have made a little Frosty the Snowman hat treat holder. And last week, week number 2, we made a collection of shaker ornaments, gift tag ornaments. And today we're going to do a card. So I'm going to turn my camera around. Let me pull it in front here. I hope you've been enjoying the projects. Today we're going to make this side step card. We've got steps on the side, hence the name. And I am using the bundle, the the Snowman Magic Bundle, excuse me. This is from Stampin' Up! It is a stamp set with coordinating dies. And I'm also using the Whimsical Woodland embossing folder. I love this embossing folder, but you can recreate this card using whatever you have. But if you are interested in any of the products that I am using today, I'm going to stick myself in the corner there. They'll be listed in the description below, and I would love to help you with that. Okay, to start out for our side step card, it's really very simple, and all you need is a paper trimmer. We're going to start out with a piece of cardstock. This measures 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in here. The full color PDF for this project with step-by-step instructions and photographs will also be available. The link to that in the description below. Also, if you are on my mailing list, you will have received that in your email this week. Okay, we are going to take our piece of 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock, and on the 5.5 side, I'm going to stick it in my paper trimmer and line it up with the 3-inch mark. Then I'm going to take my cutting blade and I'm going to lift this just a tad, and I'm going to line my cutting blade up at 1 inch. Now I'm lucky enough that my cutting blade has a little line here and it'll show me right where 1 inch is. If yours does not, you could put a little pencil mark there, but you want to leave an inch space here, an inch that's not cut. And we're going to cut from 1 inch to 6.5. So I just took my blade and lined it right up with the 6.5 inch mark on my little ruler guide. Now that is all the cutting. We are also going to use a scoring tool. I'm going to use my Simply Scored tool. If you have a scoring board or your trimmer and a stylus, that works as well. But when I'm doing a lot of scoring, I always like to use my Simply Scored tool. And I'm going to get my little cheat sheet out here so I don't mess up on camera, which I am prone to do. So you're going to notice there is a 2.5 inch panel, and then there's the 3 inch panel. We're going to score on this 2.5 inch side panel. Here's our cut that we just made. And we are going to take our stylus and cut that at 4 1/4. Yes, and that is the only score we're going to make on that side. That is going to make the big panel here on our card. Then I'm going to flip it over, and on this 3 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1 inch, and I'm just, excuse me, yes. Wait a minute. No, I'm not going to cut it over. Turn it over. I hope I didn't confuse you there. I'm going to score it at 1 inch. We want that 1 inch to be right there where that cut line is ended. Remember, we started at 1 inch. So we're going to do 1 inch, 2 inches, and we're just scoring to that cut line. 3 1/4, 4 1/2, and 6 1/2. So all of our score lines are right there in that cut. Okay, that's the hardest part. Now I'm going to fold it on this 4 1/4 inch score line, fold it in half, and then we're just going to kind of work with our stair steps back here. The first one we want to make a mountain fold, which is, here's a mountain, and then we're going to make a valley fold. So here's a valley. So when I say mountain, it's just like we're going to climb the mountain and we're going to go down in the valley, and then we're going to make another mountain fold and another valley fold, and then one last mountain fold. That it gets a little tricky. You just have to kind of work with it, but when you're done, it'll look like that. So we've got the mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold, and mountain fold. So you end up with 3 steps, hence the side the side step card. Okay, that was the hardest part. So if you've got through that part, you've done well. Okay, then I've taken a piece of 5 by 4 inch balmy blue cardstock and I ran it through. I went ahead and used the Whimsical Woodland. I love this embossing folder. It's just got some real fun Christmas trees in the background. I went ahead and ran that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to cut this. Let me get my sample over here. It's kind of hard to show you because I'm going to put this clip here so you can kind of follow along and it's not springing open all the time. So I'm going to show you how we're going to cut this. We need one, bring back my trimmer. We need one panel that measures, I failed to write this down. I thought I did write it down, but I didn't. It'll be in your instructions. One panel needs to be 2 1/4 inch by 4. So I'm going to cut 2 1/4 inches. So we have that. Either side looks lovely. One's debossed and one's embossed. And then with this leftover piece, we're going to we're going to cut, I believe this one's 3/4 inches. Where did I do with my ruler? Yep, we need a 3/4 inch strip. And then I believe the second stair step is 1 inch. But I'm going to measure just to make sure, yes. And the final stair step is 1 3/4. So once we do our inch, we'll cut 1 3/4, and we'll have just a little scrap left that we don't need. So we have our 4 by 2, and I need my grid paper here, and then I wouldn't have to be reaching for my ruler. 4 by 2 1/4. This is also 4 inches by 1 3/4. Actually, it's not 4 inches, it's 2 3/4. And then we have our 3/4 and our 1 inch. If you start with a 4 inch by 5 inch piece of cardstock, it'll work. And refer to your instruction sheets. My shoe is falling off. I apologize for that. We're very professional around here. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this up so you can kind of look at this as I go along. So we are going to just glue all of these. We're going to adhere them all on our little panels of our card. You could use designer series paper. I just loved this embossing folder, and I thought it worked really well with our Snowman Magic bundle. This card would be also a good winter time card. Just put a different sentiment on your, we can fold this out flat too to make it a little easier for us. So you could use this stamp set all winter long for birthdays and different occasions. There are Christmas greetings on it, and of course we are using one of them, the largest greeting in the stamp set. Okay, so there is our card base. Pretty simple. Now, you're going to want to, let's do our stamping first. I have a little scrap of basic white cardstock. I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat, paper piercing mat. And I'm going to pull out my Memento black ink. Yes, Balmy Blue. I did my snowman in the Balmy Blue. And then Real Red. I just think blue and red look really nice for Christmas. It's a really nice color combination. Let's push these back so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so for our little snowman, very simple. It's just a little outline in the Balmy Blue. And then I am going to put her or his little face. And I'm using the Memento Tuxedo black ink. And then we are going to use the Real Red. We're going to die cut all these images out. We need a scarf. And we need the hat image. And the little bird. I've got a little bird on here, the little red bird or cardinal. If I can find her. Here she is. And then our little bunny rabbit. I'm going to do that in our black. And then our sentiment, which is a very large sentiment. I like this large sentiment, and it works really well with this larger panel of the card. Okay, so that is all the stamping we're going to do for this project. There are coordinating dies for all of these images except for the sentiment. And so what I have done, I went ahead and cut them out so you didn't have to watch me do all that. I fussy cut the sentiment out. I didn't want to cover up all that beautiful embossing, so I just cut around the words, and then here's all of our little pieces that we're going to use to put it together. So I die cut out 2 of the trees, and these come in the bundle. 2 in garden green and 1 in pear pizzazz. Here's our snowman that we stamped, and I am going to take my pumpkin pie Stamp and Write marker and color in his nose. And then I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo pink, and oh, I guess I stamped this bunny in some gray instead of the black. No worries. Color her little ear pink. And then I've also cut an extra snowman because when I put this together, it just gives it a little more finished edge on the back. It's just an optional thing that I did. It's not a necessity. So we've got our snowman in the back, his little scarf, little hat, our little cardinal, his little hands. I went ahead and cut these out, or arms, with the dies, coordinating dies. And then I cut out 5 little snowflakes out of the white glimmer paper. So that's what you're going to need to put the card together. After we've got our embossed backgrounds on here. So let's get started. I like, when I'm using these small detailed dies, to use my multi-purpose liquid glue. So I'm just going to put some tiny little run of that on here. And then I wanted my trees to be different heights, so I'm going to put this one kind of up higher. That's the garden green one. And then I took the second garden green one and again, and I just adhered it just a little lower to make like it's a little closer. Okay. And then our final little pear pizzazz tree, I just wanted a little bit of a color differentiation, say that 3 times. But you could do your trees all the same color if you wanted to. Now I'm going to put this tree over here. I'm going to stretch this out for y'all. Might be easier for y'all to see. And it's on that second step. And then we can put our snowman together. So cute. We're going to put his little scarf on. And his little hat. And then we need to put his little arms on, and I'm just going to put a drop of glue. I think Stampin' Up! Really did us a favor on these die cuts. They left us a little spot to put the adhesive on those little tiny arms. And I just cut those out of basic black. Now, see how it looks in the back? That's why I cut the extra snowman out, just to cover that up. Not that anybody's really going to be looking back there, but it just makes it look a little cleaner and more finished. That's completely optional. Okay. Now we can add him to our card. And I put him on the second little stair step of our card. Kind of up high so he shows when our card is standing open. I want him to show well, you know. In fact, I might scooch him over just a little bit. So he's kind of between these two trees. Okay, and then I put our little bunny rabbit. I put that on really fast and it's a little crooked, but that's okay. I put our little bunny rabbit right here. He's just kind of snooping around the forest. And then our little bird, I just put a tiny bit of glue on one of these branches. And I'm going to set her right there. And then the snowflake, let's go ahead and put our sentiment on. I used some Stampin' Dimensionals for that. And like I said earlier, I just fussy cut around this sentiment because I didn't want to. I considered a circle die or something, but I really didn't want to cover up any of the pretty embossing. So I wanted that to show really well. And then the final thing I did was put on these 5 little snowflakes. I put 3 on the card, this little panel. Just a little dot of glue. And all of these dies for all of these little images were included in the bundle. The Snowman Magic Bundle. And then I had these 2 extra, and I thought it looked really cute if we propped a couple up on the trees like the snow is falling. And they're so tiny, I think it works. So I put one there, and then let's put one right here. Okay, so that is the card. It is a side step card. This is a left side step. The steps are on the left side. Now on this one I did put our little snow accents, the snowfall accents puff paint, and that is completely up to you. I noticed it kind of smushed when you mail it in your envelope. That snow's gonna smush, but I don't think it looks bad. It just looks like the snow might have been there for a day or two. But this is what it looks like right out of the box. Let me show you how it works, because it was kind of fun to play with. You need a heat tool for it. You shake it up, and then you just put a little line of the snow. It looks very liquidy. And you take your heat tool, excuse me, I'm going to grab it, and excuse the noise. And it's kind of magic. The heat dries it and puffs it up. And a little dab will do ya. So that little bottle of accents, snowfall accents, would last forever. There we go. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but see how the liquid turned to kind of, it's just puffy. It's really kind of cool. So our little bunny is sitting on his little, on the snow, and then it makes it look like he's not really floating. And then if we want to do it underneath our snowman, I just put a little bit around, whoops, that's a lot, around the edges. Like I said, a little dab will do. And I did notice that it kind of bubbles up, but you can pop those bubbles with the point of the bottle. Okay, I'm going to get my U-Pick tool because that heat tool got hot there. Okay, like I said, I don't know if the camera picked that up, but it turns from liquid to this kind of, it feels kind of like a styrofoam maybe, but it's kind of cute. And if you had some tree images just to put some on your tree trunks, I think it would be nice to have for a lot of occasions. And like this bottle will last forever because you saw what I used that tiny bit and how much it increases in size. And now I'm looking for the lid. We'll find it later. Anyway, that is our card for our 12 weeks of Christmas, week 3. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you make some step cards. They're really not that hard once you figure out the scoring and the cutting. Let me know if you do. And if I can help you with any of your paper crafting needs, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We will see you next week for week number 4. Happy stamping!